Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something I've learned over the years. Life is not about waiting for something big to happen. It's about improving yourself every single day. See, people want to see success show up overnight, but success never works that way. It comes one step at a time, one small improvement at a time. If you wake up each morning and ask yourself, how can I be just a little bit better than I was yesterday? You'll start stacking up victories that eventually turn into the life you dream of. Stop worrying about perfection. Focus on progress. Each day gives you a brand new chance to sharpen your skills, grow your mindset, and take one step closer to your destiny. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something powerful about life. Consistency beats talent. It beats luck. It beats everything you think you need to succeed. People keep asking me all the time, Steve, how do you keep going? How do you keep winning? The answer is simple, but it ain't easy. I keep showing up. That's it. I show up when I don't feel like it. I show up when I'm tired. I show up when life knocks me down. You know why? Because success is not built in the big moments, you see. It's built in the small choices nobody's watching. Consistency is the secret sauce to greatness. It's not flashy. It's not dramatic. But it will change your life if you learn how to practice it every single day. See, everybody gets motivated. Motivation is easy. You watch a video, you hear a speech, you read a quote, and you feel good for a moment. But consistency is different. Consistency asks you, can you still keep moving when you don't feel good? Can you stick to the plan when you don't see results yet? Can you hold on when the applause is stopping, nobody is cheering for you? That's the difference between people who dream and people who achieve. The dreamers talk about it, the achievers do it every day, no matter what. Think about the gym. You don't get in shape by going one time. You don't build strength by doing push-ups once a month. You've got to show up regularly. And the truth is, at first, you might not see anything changing. You'll wake up sore, tired, and maybe even disappointed that you don't see results overnight. But that's the test. That's life asking you, do you really want this? Or do you just want to look like you want this? Because the real change happens after you've pushed through those first few weeks, those first few months, when most people quit. Consistency separates the committed from the casual. When I first started chasing my dream, I wasn't famous, I wasn't known, I wasn't making money, I was telling jokes for free in clubs, getting turned down, getting doors slammed in my face. But I kept showing up. I knew deep down, if I quit after one bad night, I'd never see what God had for me. I had to stay consistent with my grind. Every night on stage was practice. Every rejection was a lesson. Every moment was preparing me for the day the opportunity came. And when the opportunity did come, I was ready. Not because I was lucky, but because consistency had sharpened me. And I tell you this, consistency is not about being perfect. It's not about never making mistakes. It's about refusing to give up. Some days you'll mess up. Some days you'll fall short. But if you keep showing up, if you keep trying, you'll eventually get where you're supposed to be. The person who wins is not always the smartest, not always the most talented, not even the one with the most resources. The person who wins is the one who refuses to stop showing up. Consistency builds trust with yourself. It proves to you that you can count on you. And when you trust yourself, you stop doubting, you start moving with confidence, because you know no matter what, you'll keep going. And once you've developed that habit of consistency, you can apply it to any area of your life, your health, your finances, your relationships, your career. It works the same way everywhere. Small steps every day will get you further than giant leaps once in a while. Let me tell you this straight. Without self-discipline, dreams die. You can have the biggest vision, the greatest talent, the wildest ambition, but if you don't have discipline, none of it will ever come to life. Self-discipline is doing the thing you said you would do long after the feeling you said it in has left you. Anybody can say, I'm going to change my life. That sounds good, but when the alarm clock goes off at 5 a.m., when your friends are out having fun, when comfort starts whispering in your ear, that's when self-discipline either shows up or it doesn't. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you want to be. And the truth is, most people never cross that bridge because it feels too hard. I had to learn discipline the hard way. There were times in my life when I was broke, sleeping in my car, wondering where the next meal was coming from. And believe me, in those moments, it would have been easier to give up, easier to settle for a regular life, easier to stop chasing the dream that felt too far away. But discipline told me, keep going, Steve, stick to it. Discipline reminded me that pain is temporary, but quitting lasts forever. See, discipline isn't punishment, it's training. Just like an athlete trains a body, discipline trains your mind and your habits so that you can handle whatever life throws at you. The hardest part about self-discipline is that it usually doesn't feel good in the moment. Nobody loves getting up early. Nobody loves sacrificing their comfort. Nobody loves putting in the work when the results are still invisible. But that's exactly why discipline is powerful. It forces you to do what's necessary instead of what's easy. And let me tell you something. Easy never made anybody great. Comfort zones are beautiful places, but nothing grows there. You don't reach greatness by doing what feels good. You reach greatness by doing what's required day in and day out, whether you feel like it or not. Think about saving money. It's easy to spend. It's fun to buy something new. But self-discipline says, no, I'm going to put this money aside. I'm going to sacrifice now so I can have more later. That's how wealth is built. Not through luck, but through the discipline of managing what you have. Or think about health. Everybody wants to look good and feel strong, but not everybody has the discipline to put down the junk food or hit the gym when it's raining outside. Those who do are the ones who reap the rewards. Discipline is the difference between wishing and living. Another thing discipline gives you is freedom. People think discipline is about restriction, but the truth is discipline sets you free. When you're disciplined with your time, you're not stressed out. You're not always behind. You're in control. When you're disciplined with your habits, you don't have to panic about opportunities you're ready for. When you're disciplined with your goals, you don't waste years wandering around. You stay on the path. Freedom doesn't come from doing whatever you want. It comes from training yourself to do what you need. I'll tell you what separates winners from everybody else. It's not intelligence, it's not talent, it's not luck. It's discipline. The willingness to sacrifice temporary pleasure for permanent progress. The ability to say no to distractions, no to laziness, no to excuses, and yes to the future you want. Self-discipline is the muscle that builds every other success muscle. And just like any muscle, the more you use it, the stronger it gets. At first, it will feel uncomfortable. At first, it will feel like you're forcing yourself. But over time, it becomes who you are. Discipline becomes your lifestyle. And once it's your lifestyle, success can't help but show up in your life. One of the greatest truths I've ever learned is that every single day is a classroom and life is the teacher. The people who grow, the people who succeed, the people who climb higher are not always the ones with the most money, the most talent, or the most connections. They are the ones who stay willing to learn. Learning doesn't stop when you finish school. It doesn't stop when you get a job. It doesn't stop when you reach a certain age. Learning is lifelong. And if you're not learning, you're not living. Every situation you face, every mistake you make, every person you meet carries a lesson. The question is, are you humble enough and open enough to receive it? When I first started out, I didn't know everything. In fact, I didn't know much at all about the business I was trying to get into. I thought telling jokes was just about being funny, but I had to learn timing. I had to learn delivery. I had to learn how to connect with the audience. And I'll tell you the truth, a lot of those lessons came through failure. Nights when the audience didn't laugh, when I got booed off stage, when I went home wondering if I had what it takes. But see, failure isn't the opposite of learning. It's the source of it. Every failure carried information. Every rejection carried insight. And every disappointment carried a chance to grow. If you're not willing to learn from failure, then you'll never get to success, because success is built on the back of lessons learned from mistakes. Learning also requires humility. You can't act like you already know it all and expect to improve. There's always someone who knows more than you, always someone who's been where you're trying to go. That's why mentorship is powerful. When you sit down with people who have walked the path before you, when you listen instead of trying to impress, you gain wisdom that shortcuts your journey. Too many people fail because they're too proud to listen, too stubborn to ask for help, or too distracted to pay attention to the lessons life is already putting in front of them. And it's not just about learning from others. You've got to invest in yourself. Read books that challenge your thinking. Watch content that builds your mindset. Listen to people who inspire you. Expand your knowledge every single day. Just one new idea, one new skill, one new perspective can shift the direction of your life. Don't spend your whole life only entertaining yourself. Spend it educating yourself. Entertainment feels good for the moment, but education will feed you for a lifetime. Another part of learning is awareness. Every day, life is giving you feedback. How people respond to you, how your plans turn out, how your habits affect your results. It's all feedback. Instead of ignoring it, use it. If something isn't working, adjust. If you're repeating the same mistake, pause and figure out why. Learning isn't just about gathering information. It's about applying it. Knowledge without application is wasted potential. It's not about how many lessons you hear. It's about how many you live. I'll tell you something else. When you stop learning, you stop growing. And when you stop growing, you start dying. The world is moving forward every single day. Technology is changing. Opportunities are changing. People are changing. If you refuse to learn, you get left behind. But if you commit to learning, you stay adaptable, you stay ready, you stay valuable. The more you know, the more doors open for you, and the less power fear has over you. Because fear comes from not knowing, but learning gives you confidence. That's why I say make learning a daily habit. Don't let a day go by where you haven't added something new to your mind, to your skills, to your perspective. Learn from your failures. Learn from your mentors. Learn from your struggles and learn from your victories too. Every lesson you gather makes you wiser, stronger, and more prepared for the future that's waiting for you. Let me tell you something I learned a long time ago. Your environment will either push you forward or pull you down. Who you surround yourself with, the places you spend your time, the conversations you allow into your ears, all of that is shaping the person you're becoming. You can't expect to fly like an eagle if you're hanging around pigeons all day. The truth is, you will eventually start reflecting the people you spend the most time with. If they're negative, you'll start thinking negative. If they're lazy, you'll start slacking. But if they're ambitious, if they're disciplined, if they're focused, that energy will rub off on you. When I was younger, I had to make some hard decisions about who I kept close to me. I had friends who were comfortable living small, friends who didn't want more out of life. Friends who were okay with wasting time and chasing nothing. Now, I cared about those people, but I had to realize something important. If I kept staying in that environment, I was going to stay stuck too. Sometimes the hardest part about growth is outgrowing the people around you. It doesn't mean you don't love them. It just means you love yourself and your future enough to protect your environment. Your environment isn't just about people. It's also about atmosphere. What are you feeding your mind every day? Are you filling it with gossip, drama, and negativity? Or are you feeding it with knowledge, inspiration, and truth? If all you consume is poison, don't be surprised when your spirit gets sick. You got to be intentional about what you allow in your space. I don't care if it's the TV shows you watch, the music you listen to, or the social media you scroll through. It all becomes a part of you. Choose wisely. And here's the thing, a positive environment doesn't happen by accident. You got to create it. You got to seek out mentors who will challenge you. You got to connect with people who are where you want to be. You got to step into rooms that make you uncomfortable because that's where growth happens. Comfort zones breed comfort people, but uncomfortable spaces breed growth. Every time you place yourself in a better environment, you give yourself the chance to rise higher. Think about a seed. A seed has all the potential to grow into a tree, but if you plant it in the wrong soil, it won't grow. It doesn't matter how much potential it carries inside. It will never become what it was created to be if the environment is toxic. You are the same way. You've got gifts, you've got talent, you've got purpose inside of you, but if you stay planted in the wrong soil, around the wrong people, in the wrong atmosphere, you'll never grow into what you were meant to be. Sometimes improving yourself every day starts with improving where you're standing. You've also got to pay attention to energy. You ever notice how being around some people just drains you? You leave feeling tired, unmotivated, maybe even discouraged. That's because energy is contagious. If you let negative energy sit in your environment long enough, it will infect your dreams. But the same is true with positive energy. When you surround yourself with people who believe in possibility, who talk about solutions instead of problems, who encourage you instead of tear you down, your spirit comes alive. That's why you got to guard your environment like it's treasure, because it is. At the end of the day, your environment will either hold you back or help you rise. If you want to improve yourself every day, look around and ask yourself, does this environment support my growth or is it stunning it? Are these people feeding my vision or are they starving it? Because the environment you choose today will determine the future you live tomorrow. Let me tell you this, you can't improve yourself every day if you don't know where you're headed. Vision is the roadmap. Vision is the compass. Vision is the picture of the life you want to build. Without it, you just drifting, waking up every day reacting to whatever comes your way instead of moving with intention. The reason a lot of people never reach their full potential is not because they don't have the talent or the ability. It's because they don't have a clear vision of what they're working toward. You can't hit a target you can't see, and you can't chase a dream you haven't defined. When I was coming up, my vision kept me alive. I didn't always have money. I didn't always have opportunities, but I always had a picture in my head of the life I was chasing. That vision gave me something to fight for when things got hard. It gave me a reason to keep grinding when quitting felt easier. See, your vision is bigger than motivation. It's your why. Motivation is how you feel in the moment, but your vision is what pulls you forward, even when your feelings try to hold you back. If you wake up every day without vision, you'll get caught up in distractions. But when you have vision, you know what deserves your energy and what doesn't. Vision doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be yours. Too many people live in someone else's dream, following someone else's path, chasing goals that don't even belong to them. That's why they get discouraged, because they run in a race that was never meant for them. You've got to get quiet with yourself and ask, what do I really want? What kind of life do I see for myself? What do I believe God put me here to do? And once you get that answer, you write it down, you remind yourself of it daily, and you build your habits around it. Vision is what keeps your steps aligned with your destiny. Now, here's the thing about vision. It will scare you. If your vision doesn't intimidate you, it's probably too small. A real vision should stretch you, should make you uncomfortable, should force you to grow. Don't shrink your dream down to fit your current circumstances. Expand your faith to match your vision. People will look at you crazy when you talk about it. They'll say it's unrealistic. They'll say it's impossible, but they can't see what you see. God didn't give them your vision, He gave it to you. And if you're bold enough to keep it in front of you every day, it will give you the courage to take steps you never thought you could take. Vision also helps you handle setbacks. Life is going to hit you, no doubt about it. You'll face failures, delays, disappointments, and moments where everything looks like it's falling apart. But when you have vision, you don't let those setbacks stop you. You see them as detours, not dead ends. Vision reminds you that where you are right now is not where you're staying. It keeps your eyes on the bigger picture. Without vision, setbacks will crush you. With vision, setbacks will shape you. And don't forget this, vision creates focus. You can't improve yourself if you're trying to do everything at once. Vision helps you say no. No to distractions. No to wasted time. No to people who don't align with where you're going. When you know what you want, you stop entertaining what you don't. Every great achievement starts with a clear vision, and once you lock onto it, every day becomes an opportunity to move one step closer to it. One of the most powerful tools you can use to improve yourself every single day is gratitude. Gratitude changes how you see the world, it changes how you see yourself, and it changes how you see your future. A lot of people think gratitude means settling for less. Like if you're thankful for what you have, you'll start reaching for more. But that's not true at all. Gratitude doesn't limit you, it lifts you. Gratitude is about recognizing the blessings you already have while still believing for the blessings that are on the way. When you wake up in the morning and you start your day with gratitude, you set the tone for everything that follows. You tell yourself, I may not be where I want to be yet, but thank God I'm not where I used to be. See, gratitude shifts your focus. If all you do is complain about what's missing, you'll stay stuck in negativity. Complaining keeps you blind to opportunities. But gratitude opens your eyes. When you're grateful, you start to see possibilities you couldn't see before. You notice the doors God has already opened. You realize the progress you've already made. And that awareness gives you the strength to keep going. Gratitude keeps you encouraged when life feels discouraging. It gives you joy in the middle of the grind, and joy is what makes the grind worth it. I've learned that gratitude is a choice. You're not always going to feel thankful. There will be days when it feels like nothing is going your way, days when the bills are piling up, days when people disappoint you, days when your plans fall apart. But even on those days, you can choose to find one thing to be grateful for. Maybe it's your health. Maybe it's your family. Maybe it's simply the gift of another day to try again. That choice is powerful because it reminds you that your circumstances don't control your spirit. Gratitude is how you take back control of your perspective. Gratitude also changes how you treat people. When you're grateful, you become more patient, more understanding, more generous. You stop taking people for granted. You start valuing the relationships and the opportunities around you. And when you live with gratitude, people feel it. Gratitude is magnetic. It attracts more good into your life because it creates an energy of appreciation and respect. Nobody wants to give more to someone who complains all the time, but people love to support someone who's genuinely thankful. That's why gratitude doesn't just improve your mindset, it improves your connections. And those connections can open doors that complaining never could. Another thing gratitude does is fuel perseverance. It's easy to quit when all you see is how far you still have to go. But when you're grateful, you remind yourself how far you've already come. You look back and see the obstacles you've overcome, the storms you survived, the challenges you thought would break you, but didn't. That reminder gives you courage. It tells you, if I made it through that, I can make it through this. Gratitude connects your past victories to your future dreams, and it keeps you moving when giving up feels easier. At the end of the day, gratitude is not just about saying thank you, it's about living thank you. It's about carrying a spirit of appreciation into everything you do. It's about celebrating small wins, honoring progress, and trusting that more is on the way. Gratitude unlocks peace, it unlocks joy, and it unlocks strength. And if you want to improve yourself every single day, start by being grateful every single day. Because a grateful heart is the foundation of a greater life.